So,
So we had a bunch of new people just join the stream. In case you weren't here at the very beginning, we cut up specific plays that we liked on each of these players tonight instead of going through entire games. So you guys want to get this started? We got Jamar Chase here.
let's get it going.
Yep. Little shout out to Phil. What's up, Phil?
What up, Phil? All right. And hold on.
All right. That's how we like to start.
Yeah. Wait, so tell me a little bit more about Chase, because we have some technical difficulties with the video.
That's all good. Nick, you were saying some interesting things about Chase before we started. Why don't you talk about him for a little bit?
Yeah, I think there's a Chase right now after viewing him, and not, most of the time I want to look at like 6 to 8 games or so. I'm only a few games in, but I think he's getting a little tad overrated right now. He has some explosiveness. He has, and I know the number, 1, isn't the number to think 3, but he's got some similarities, I think, to like an OBJ. Good ball skills, not huge. He's got that springy athleticism in his game. But he has some flaws to his game too that we're going to talk about. So I think he's going to be an interesting guy that right now the numbers in that system, I mean, Jefferson was crazy too with his numbers. I think kind of overinflated him. He's still a good talent, but I just don't think he's this superstar that's untouchable. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's
go ahead, Jade.
Let's start the video here just because, sorry, Nick. I don't know. It's been weird tonight with the software here, so I don't want it to freeze again. But we got Jamar Chase lined up on the top here. Looks like he's on one-on-one with this cornerback. Just hits him with the slant route here. Nice catch on a ball that's behind him.
Yep.
With this too, I forgot to mention this. We each specifically watched 2 games, and so we picked out plays. So like this one's one of Jared's games that he watched, so he'll probably be talking a little more about this game. And so whichever ones we watched, we'll probably be talking a little more. Doesn't mean the other ones won't chime in, but we'll kind of give the first take to whoever's game it was. So just so you guys can understand the format a little bit better.
Yeah, so I thought, this is an okay route. Not great. Could have been probably more sudden, but as you can see here, he's just a really good athlete, has great hands, and he's terrific after the catch. He's always seeming to break a tackle or two.
I like that on this. It was thrown behind him, but then he still had the athleticism to still keep that momentum going forward and not spin all the way around. That takes some skill and some balance as well. Because it's right there. It's easy for him to turn back. You know what I mean? But he knows that's where the opening is, so he keeps working his way there.
And Jared, you had a perfect spot where you stopped. Look how quickly he got his head back around to be able to see where the defender was for that, yards after the catch there. He's looking right away. Okay, where am I at? How close is he? Where can I get? So that's great awareness on his part.
Yep. Good balance too.
Yep.
So here we see him lined up in the slot. We'll let it run here first.
Another one slightly behind him.
Yeah, just the post route gets in there behind, but I just wanted to highlight
those wheels.
Yeah, just that second gear that he has, or third gear even, to outrun the coverage on guys that had an angle.
One thing before that I like, Jared, is that one big thing about being a receiver is you want to keep all of your speed in your routes, and he doesn't look towards the quarterback until he's in that opening, because he understands the concept, understands the coverage. He's got to get around that backer before he's even going to get the ball delivered to him. And that's when he looks, and that doesn't tip off the safety either. So that's good timing and knowledge on his part.
Yeah. And he kind of motors down a little bit when he sees that opening for his quarterback.
You're right. You talked about motoring down there, and that's something that he does well after watching, several games of his. Is he adjusts his speeds really well in and out of his breaks, depending on the coverage, whether it's press, whether it's zone. He does a really good job with that.
Look at Burrow anticipating this window here too.
Yep,
he's already
so good.
throwing.
There was a couple plays that I wanted to put in, and I was like, yeah, actually, that's just a really good throw. That wasn't anything special by Chase. It was just a really, really good throw.
Yeah, I came away the same way, more impressed with Burrow than the receivers.
Me too, man.
Quick shout out. Ryan has joined on here. He's a good bud. And also Sean Sean's one of the guys that won my the graduates the other day. So
nice. Sean's always in here, man. We appreciate it. He's lined up down here at the bottom. Here. No, not. I don't know. Like, I noticed. I know. We've talked about this a little bit beforehand. Like, he's not great off the line of scrimmage. I feel like he could have done a little more there. Just be a little quicker. Get the hands off and go.
Well, he doesn't even
kind of opens up. Look how open he is.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't sell this inside. The corner's in great shape because he doesn't think he's running an inside route at all.
Yeah. But, I mean,
it wasn't believable.
What this guy is so good at is at the catch point, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll let it run
body
here.
Control.
Yeah, his body control is really good.
Top notch.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you get that OBJ vibe that you were talking about, is that body control, because that's something Odell does really, really well.
There's a subtle push off there as well.
So I wanted to highlight.
And sorry about that, but and then tracking as well. You know, he tracks it well, because if you can high point down the field and you're not a giant, then you have to have good timing.
Yeah,
on that as well.
Yep, uses his hands really well down here. Just the turn and catch like that and get your foot in bounce. Crazy.
Sam Wallace in here.
Good ball too, dude. Burrow's he's so good. Yep. He's so good at letting his players make plays.
Yep, he puts his guys in a great position.
Mm-hmm. So I thought, this wasn't a great route. Kind of took him a while to get out of his break here. And just watch how far he trails upfield. Like, he started breaking down at the 30.
Yeah, it wasn't the sharpest.
Well, like, that could be a speed out too, though,
Yeah, you're probably right. Now that I'm watching it again.
Yeah, because that's when I had players do that. If you want to have a 10-yard out, you start at 8 and then you drift into the 10. The thing that I don't like is, and the corner's zone, he's looking at Burrow, but he's not threatened vertically at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's planning and coming up on that. So, maybe there's something that Chase is tipping off with his route.
Yeah.
Because, he's faster than him. He should be.
Again, look at Joe Burrow anticipating this throw.
Right,
he's already throwing. He's already throwing the ball.
Although one of mine later, I actually have like one play where I was like, Joe could have done better there. So it's gonna sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. So that's great.
Hey, we have a good and bad
play. We'll go past that play. We won't watch that play.
We won't watch it.
Yeah, and this is kind of a hitch and go on both sides here, stop and go.
Question real quick, kind of off topic a little bit, but we'll roll with it anyway. Who do we like more at the 5 spot if Dobbins isn't there, Lamb or Swift? Would you guys rather take?
Ooh.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I have no issue with either player, honestly. I would be fine getting either one of those guys. It would probably be Swift for me, but I would have no issue taking Lamb.
I'm taking
Swift.
I think
okay, go ahead, Jared.
I'm going to take Swift just because I want to take the running back at that point.
Yeah, and that's where I would lean. I think they're pretty even, and I think just due to positional scarcity, you would go with a running back just because there's like 40 receivers that you can start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not many running backs that are 3-down backs.
What's up?
Yep.
What's up, Down in Dynasty? What's up, Rhino? Appreciate you guys. So,
Rhino's is great, dude.
Again, Jamar Chase just making a freaking play. One-on-one. Contested catch situation. This guy is winning 8 times out of 10. Like, just go up and get it, man. Look at that.
Can we just go back and watch Burrow here? He's getting tattooed,
dude. He's
by 2 guys.
Does this all the
Look
time.
at this, 2 guys.
I know.
He's getting it creamed.
He's good, man.
And lets it go, dude.
He's just got some feel. He understands.
Understands
his guys. Let him go make a play.
And that's the thing. Jamar Chase versus almost any corner. You're taking Jamar Chase. So give your guy an opportunity to win in a game that we don't have the score here. I'm assuming they're up on Vanderbilt. I remember that game.
Right.
So I don't know where at in the game this is, but they're probably up.
Yeah.
Probably playing to win. Give your guy a chance to make a play.
Yep.
Although Keyshawn Vaughn had a very nice run in this game.
My man. Our guy. We should just rename this Jamar Chase, Rashad Bateman, and Joe Burrow.
And Joe Burrow.
it's
fun to watch.
Good.
Good release here. Good outside release. Gives him a little hezzy and then goes. Then does a nice job working back to the quarterback here on his route.
Can I
go ahead, Nick?
I just disagree with you here, because when you the purpose of this release is you want the corner to think you're going to go either way, right? There is 0% that the corner's worried he's going to go inside on him here, because he would open his hips if he did. You know what I mean? That's just a weak fake to the inside. I think he needs to sell that more, and then he would have more separation here, which he gets some. But who is this guy against Vanderbilt? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not, I just think he needs to, because all he does is hesitate and go and come back. To me, that might work against Vanderbilt. It's not going to work against NFL corners.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like he could go either way here, just coming up square on him at this point. Right. But I see your point.
And he does that rise up release, that
Justin
hesitation.
Jefferson. They must be
Jefferson did it too.
they must get taught that there. Just let this one run. Gets hands off the line of scrimmage. Gets inside. Good play. Good run after the catch here. Watch him. He just explodes.
Yep. He's a smooth runner too.
Great after the catch.
He's kind of
he's got a little bit of that CD in him.
What up, G?
After the catch, there was a couple plays that I saw that I was like, "Ooh, man, he's really willing to go get it after the catch."
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of a quicker CD Lamb, just to relate back to somebody that we've all watched recently.
And I like just how he navigates there, how he has a feel and he knows just how far he needs to continue to widen to maintain just enough distance, but still get vertical up the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a line between getting caught and avoiding too much and not gaining the ground. You know what I mean? And he just had a good sweet spot there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I guess here I just wanted to highlight the run after catch ability. I mean, he takes a shot here, keeps his feet, and gets an extra 5 yards.
That's a big
Again,
shot,
I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the release here, but he gets the job done.
That takes too long. But, I mean, he catches it knowing he's going to get hit, too.
Yeah.
Man, good balance. Once again, good balance.
He's a hell of an athlete.
Yep.
And I was watching an interview earlier today from the strength coach at LSU, and he said this dude is just an animal in the weight room. It's like, I think he said he's his favorite player to coach in the weight room since Josh Reed, who was the last, I think it was the last Blitnikoff winner for LSU. I'm not sure what year that was, but Chase he's on pace to have the most career receiving yards and receiving touchdowns at LSU in the history of the program.
Especially when you consider all the good wide receivers that have gone through there, especially recently.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. All right, here we go. This is the national championship game. I keep playing it through because it was the replay where you got to see more here. So stays downfield. Look at that last second. Now, probably should have been called for pass interference, offensive pass interference. That said, though, what I like is he maintains his line all the way down until that last moment and then widens to have the opportunity to catch it uncontested. Had he slowly progressed over there, the DB would have just faded right with him. Waited till the last second to come over. It's just next level thinking. And AJ Terrell, before this, watching the game, he was like press coverage all up in him. And so you knew he was ready. He was wanting this. And so for him to bait him like that, and then at the last second to get that little bit of shove that maybe should have been called, but the wide in there was what I really liked on that play.
Garrett, you make it.
Go back to the release and how much I don't like it. Sorry, Jared.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how important it is for receivers to give their quarterbacks room to make this throw. He does a nice job of that here, like Garrett said.
Sounds like a quarterback, Jared.
Yep.
Like you need room from the sideline, but I mean, you look at the release though. There's no fake inside. No. You know what I mean? And I have some plays later where that's why Terrell sticks with them right here. That's good coverage. You know what I mean?
That is. Yep.
And so
there was a couple plays he had really good coverage.
I mean, he should get more separation initially in his route than that. We've seen lots of receivers in this class or in the 2020 class that released.
Jaws Whedon says, "Oh, these guys are next year. Dirt." I still need my homework on this year's rookies. Well, if you go to the YouTube channel, it looks like you're on YouTube right now. We have all our breakdowns from those guys on the channel, so plenty of content for there.
I got a guide for you too if you're interested.
There you go.
Yeah, plenty of content there to do your homework.
We'll just let this last one play through.
It's never too early to do your homework for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Do your Devy. Join a Devy league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So this was one of the negative ones that I had here. So once again, bad off the line, but he allows himself to get pushed right into the sideline. Wasn't even an option on this play. Yeah, like what's Burrow going to do now? It did. I will say it did widen it and open it up for Jefferson, which helped. But as far as him being an option on that play, unless he was strictly just meant to be a decoy, never meant to be an option there, I don't like to see him go right to the sideline like that and get pushed out of bounds.
Right.
You want me to run that back again? Are you good?
No, I think I said my piece unless you guys got something else.
No, and I saw things like that on film too.
So,
I mean, I think that he struggles with physical corners.
Yeah, so that's a trend we're seeing so far with him. Something he can work on. He's still a young player, obviously, so we're being nitpicky, of course.
Oh, for sure.
But that's what we're doing.
So this was some of the after the catch stuff that I love seeing from Chase. So little bubble screen. Reads his blocks really well. And then that's Simmons. That's one of the best defensive players in college football this past year. Stops right by him, gets upfield, gets an extra 10 yards on that. It's just savvy having it. Nick, you say it all the time. I love the verbiage. I use it all the time now. Having a plan as he's maneuvering downfield, watching what the blocks are doing, and getting that extra 10 yards, which in a game like this, at this point, this game was a very, very close game. It could be crucial in the outcome.
Yeah, and I just like that he has – how many receivers do we see? They get a good game and they go out of bounds. He has at least the mentality that I'm going to try and maximize this, and he did, and he gained so many more yards. I think that's kind of next level right there. I really like that play.
Agree. He's a football player.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a general term, but what I mean by that is he's a dog. He has some dog in him.
Yep. All right, so this was one of the downers for me. Now, I've only gotten the 2 full games in-depth scouting, but he absolutely just whiffed on this one. And I don't know, does he struggle to track the ball downfield at times? Because Joe Burrow put it in a perfect spot,
right?
And he just whiffed. Like it almost looked like he lost it at some point there because his head was late getting around on it. I'm not quite sure what happened there. You guys saw some of the other games. Was this something that you saw as a regular thing, or was this just kind of a one-off? He just happened to lose it.
For me, that was just a one-off. Like I didn't really see too much of issues with ball tracking when the games I watched.
Yeah, because this one was pretty bad. Like that one should have been a touchdown.
Yeah, he's expecting that on the inside shoulder, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough grab too.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Nelson. Wait, is that the right reference?
Willie Nelson.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
Oh, that's what you were going for? The over the shoulder.
Oh man, I knew I was wrong. I just couldn't think of the damn name.
Willie Nelson.
Man, he had some great catches. That Willie Nelson.
Who is Willie Nelson?
The
country singer. Anywho,
that's Woodford.
Right, so this was my one. This was my one Joe Burrow because they're on the goal line here. Well, here I'll let it play through first. They're on the goal line here, and that was actually a very good route. Joe Burrow threw this way too late.
Yep. High.
Yep.
Throw it low.
He did an excellent job of getting his hips turned, showing the numbers. That needed to be there almost a full second sooner.
Yeah, he should be throwing right now.
Yep. So that was a great route on his part. And so I wanted to highlight this specific route because that's really tough when you don't have any extra room back there to get separation, which for the double coverage right there on the goal line, that's a lot of separation.
Yeah.
That play should have happened. So that one's actually on Burrow, but it was a really great route, I thought, by Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm. It's a good play by 29 too, I think, to drive that,
mm-hmm.
And get there in time.
Yep.
And that's such a limited area.
Yeah, he really gets down low and comes back on that one. I love the way how sudden he was with that.
Yep. Balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that was a play that I really liked out of him. All right, and then my last one for Jamar Chase.
Ooh, grown man.
Just a dog.
He's still not down. Does he ever go down?
He doesn't. He doesn't go down.
He's strong.
And it was a simple thing to highlight. Once again, thrown slightly behind him. Just a simple slant route. Nothing too crazy on it. But he gets upfield right away, breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles, and then carries another guy for 5, 6, 7 yards. And it takes multiple defenders, and he never even goes down. And I just like that mentality out of a receiver, where especially over the middle, where we saw, some guys that we highlighted on this stream, especially over the middle, guys get nervous, they get a little bit antsy. Nah, he had that fight in him. He was trying to get the extra yards, made the good catch. It was a play I really liked out of Chase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here are some of my plays. I got Alabama and Oklahoma. I was a little bit more, I think, negative in terms of plays, but I think those are important ones to watch here. So right here, this is against Diggs. Diggs is a second-round pick to Dallas, and you watch this, and that's a good play there. If you go back to the beginning, what I don't like is that, one, Diggs is really aggressive coming across the line. As a receiver, as a receiver's coach over the years, you love aggressive corners because those are the ones that you can grab their wrists, right? Get on their hips, and then you can stack them, and then you're gone. Because most of the time you have a corner that's in your way, a little bit just to disrupt timing. Diggs is overly aggressive. You never want to lunge that far. And he got into his chest. That's like the worst case scenario for a receiver. So this was like an alert for me. Like, is he not prepared for this? And 2, is this something that people could regularly do against him? And I saw this time and again this game, that Diggs was getting his hands all over him, and you do not want hands on him. But right here, he has the strength to shed him. Diggs does slip, but he got rid of him at least to give himself an opportunity. So I put it as like a good and a bad play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the way he's able to get rid of him, though, and get upfield, like you said. Burrow gives him a dime.
Right.
Shocker.
Yeah. Big play Chase.
He's going to be so good. He's going to be so good.
So there, like, again, hands got all over him, right? But I like that he saw that he wasn't going to get a ball deep and came back because his quarterback's scrambling here. I think this is ad lib. I don't think this is the play design.
I think you're right. I think this is a scramble drill here.
Yep. That's a quarterback talking. Scramble drill. Love those. Always come back to your quarterback. And he did. And that, to me, that's like a little bit next level in terms of thought process and, what you need to do. So I really like that.
The way you guys did scramble drill, was it the way we always ran it? Now, granted, I was a running back, so it depended on the formation for me. But was it typically like the deep guys are coming back in and the inside guys are going deep on scramble drill? Or how did you guys do it?
You want to talk yours first, Jared, and then I'll talk mine?
Yeah, no, actually, that's exactly how we ran it.
Okay.
We wanted the guys to work back to the football. And then, I mean, basically just get open, man. I'm not going to throw it back across my body late over the middle. I'm either throwing it out of bounds or along the sideline, most likely, or getting 2 to 3 yards running the ball.
Yeah. I mean, for me, if you're deep, go short. If you're short, go deep. And you're always flowing towards the quarterback. And then when you're out of room, that's when you kind of go upfield. It's it's just a set of rules of chaos, basically.
Yeah. That's a perfect term that Jared would love, a rule of chaos.
That's football, man. It never goes according to plan. You always have to just have more tools in your toolbox. That's good balance there. So this one, I just thought it was lazy. I mean, we talked about the release, right? There's zero threat of him going outside on Diggs here. He kind of comes across the middle and just, there's no explosiveness. I just thought it was a pretty lazy route.
Yeah, I agree. Phil said,
he's lining up more in the slot this game. than I saw.
Phil said press coverage is going to be a problem for Chase. NFL corners are not going to believe his release.
Yep.
Good news is he can get coached up on that.
Mm-hmm. So this is the only other drop that I had. I thought it was kind of a tough ball, but still he should have caught it.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind the release here, so I'll give him that. He fakes outside, and it's at least a little believable, which is why he got separation, even though he's already way inside.
Yeah, he gave a nice punch to the outside here, finally.
Yep. So that's a half good, but then hit both of his hands.
Yeah, he needs.
So I don't know if this is a drop or he had footsteps here in 21 coming in here.
He might have.
Yeah, either way, it's a drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's good at little subtle push-offs, right?
Yep. And I just like the top of that route there where he's already inside, but hey, I'm going to lean into him. You said push off and then come over. I thought that was nice.
Small little thing. I like the way he's able to absorb the contact here. He understands leverage. Gets his shoulders down low.
Gain some more yards.
We have somebody from Facebook says undefined, so we appreciate your comment, whoever you are. Says, hey guys, love your prospect evaluations. Best in the business, in my opinion. We appreciate that, man. And then I want you guys to discuss this, because I think this was the feeling by, I would say, most people, and I wonder where you guys are at on this. Chase would have been the first wide receiver taken this year if he was draft eligible. Do you think that is true or false?
You go first, Jared.
Based on the year that he had and the hype that he had, I think it's definitely possible. I don't know if I can say yes or no. I'll say yes because I have to give an answer. I think he would have.
You think he would have?
Yeah.
What about you, Nick?
I'll go a different way. In terms of my rankings, he would not have been my top receiver.
Okay.
But, the first receiver taken was my wide receiver 7. So
I think my 11. So
yeah,
here we are.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I definitely think he has the tools, and he would have been right up there at the top of this last class
for sure. He was definitely a first round pick, and I don't think he would have gotten past 20. So
yeah, but I mean, obviously, there's things we see here that he definitely needs to work on. But as far as ceiling goes, his ceiling's up there with Lamb and Judy and Ruggs.
I would take him over Judy. I'll say that. I would take him over Ruggs and Judy. I don't know that I would take him over CD.
Yeah, because I think he can be your true number one receiver that you need.
Mm-hmm. So this was just to highlight another one where no good release. Another corner got their hands all over him. I mean, fake inside, use your hands. And he stays with him, even after that initial punch. That's just a bad sign for me. And this is a big game.
Yeah, Alabama definitely saw on tape that, like, hey, we need to get up in Chase early and get physical with him.
Which is why I think that might be one of the reasons why you move more into the slot, because then you're off the line and then you have to deal with that as much. So
yeah,
I don't know.
And I mean, we're on Oklahoma actually here, same jersey color. Didn't even notice that.
Yep.
But I think it's something that obviously people saw on tape.
This was subtle. I mean, because you can't see much of the route. What I want to point out here is that, so when he comes across, and you can actually play it really slow once it gets in the picture here. You'll see him coming across parallel, and then he comes back to the ball here, which is what you want, which allows him to avoid this safety. And that's the things that avoids balls getting knocked down, it, reduces interceptions, things like that. And that's not easy for a receiver to do, because you always want to drift upfield, but him to come back that half yard, I think gained him more yards right there.
Yeah. Good point. Good work, guys. Any other final thoughts on Chase before we move on to Bateman here?
Basically, really good receiver. Some little nuanced things that are coachable and fixable that I think he's going to be an excellent player.